Hi everyone, my name's Becky. Welcome to my channel Notes from the Sewing Room, and welcome back if you are a subscriber. Today's video is about 5 different things that I think would be great to sew up for winter this year. So do stay tuned if you are interested in learning more about that. Now today's video is a little bit different to the kinds of videos that I usually put together, and that's because I've been having a think about a few different ideas that I can be working on. So do let me know if you like what I'm sharing today in the comments below. And as always, if you could leave me a thumbs up, that would be amazing, because it just helps YouTube share my video with other people that are interested in sewing. Before we get started, I will just let you know in true kind of YouTube sewing vlogger style what I'm wearing today. So today I'm wearing one of my favourite Tilly and the Buttons Billy jumpers. So as you can see, it's got the lovely balloon sleeves and it's made in this lovely sweatshirt type fabric, and I made this one a little bit shorter than it's supposed to be, so it's kind of a cropped length. So if I just stand up slightly, you'll be able to see, yes, that it basically just comes to the top of my skirt, so I like that. So I just basically cut it off at the waist notch, I think, and then I added on a kind of tummy band to go around the bottom of it. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this one and I like it a lot. Anyway, let's get started, and I'm going to share my ideas with you of things that I think would be wonderful to sew up over the next couple of months when the weather's still a little bit cold. Now I will say before we get started that these patterns are brand new to me. I've not seen them before, so I've not had a go at making any of them yet, although I am interested, to be honest. But I just thought that these would be lovely. I did a bit of research online about what kinds of things I thought would be great to sew up for chillier weather going into, you know, kind of April when it gets a little bit warmer, and I think all of these patterns would be great basically. So let's get started. Pattern number 1 on the list today is by Made It Patterns, and it's called Hog Hoodie. So there's actually 2 different variations of the Hog Hoodie. There is, that's quite difficult to say actually, the Hog Hoodie. There is the hoodie version, and there's also a kind of round neck version as well. Now the thing that I loved about this jumper when I saw it online was the beautiful details that it's got in terms of its rounded hem. It basically has an overlapping kind of rounded hem detail at the bottom, which to be honest I found quite eye-catching. You know, kind of a lot of sweatshirts and jumpers, they can kind of be quite similar to look at. You know, you might have different kinds of sleeves, but generally, you know, the body is very similar on a lot of patterns. So this one really kind of stood out to me as being something a little bit different and fun to try. It's a PDF pattern, and of course it's suitable for jersey fabrics like Ponte, Roma type fabrics, maybe a French terry or a sweatshirt in fabric, that kind of thing. Now in my little bit of research that I did on this pattern, it does seem that the instructions are pretty good from what people say, and they kind of guide you through, which should I say, the making process, including a guide for how to bind the seam allowance around the neck, I believe. So all in all, I think this looks like quite a cool pattern to try. And that pattern is available in UK sizes 6 through to 20. So I'm going to add that onto my little wish list of things that I might decide to make over the next few months. But as I say, I don't own that pattern at the moment. I have got a range of things, by the way, to show you over my 5 different things, and I will be putting all of the details down in the description box below. Pattern number 2 on the list that I wanted to share with you today is from Itch to Stitch, and I'm probably going to get the name slightly wrong, so please don't hold that against me if I do. I'm just going to check my notes here. So it's the Sibiu top, so Sibiu top, and it's available in UK sizes 6 through to 34, which is great. This looks like quite a classic item of clothing to me. It's got back wing sleeves, which I absolutely love, because it means that you can maybe layer something up underneath it and not feel too kind of, you know, like things are gathering up in your sleeves in your top that you're wearing, so I quite like that. It looks really stylish, and there's a few different options that you can do. So there's 2 different sleeve lengths. You can do the long sleeves or the 3/4 length sleeve option, which is good to have that choice, and it's got a really pretty cowl neck feature as well. It looks really simple to make, if I'm honest, looking at what I found online. Plus it looks elegant and something that I don't think is going to date in your wardrobe. So probably depending on what kind of fabric you decided to use for that project, you know, you could have it in your wardrobe for years and just keep bringing it out season after season, and it's just going to look lovely. So yeah, I just really wanted to share that with you, because I think it's something that would be great for this winter, and also maybe going through into the kind of springtime. Project number 3 on the list today that I wanted to share with you today is the latest release from Sew Over It. So generally they do bring out a pattern, I think probably around every month or so, and this is one that came into my inbox this week, and I just thought, yeah, do you know what, that's probably suitable for now, and it's going to have a little bit of longevity as well, in that you can kind of dress it up at the moment with a cardigan, some warm tights, maybe some boots, and then as we move into springtime, you know, you can strip off that cardigan potentially and maybe wear it with either thinner tights or maybe bare legs, depending on what the weather's like. And the new dress is called the Ida dress, and again, this has got some lovely features. I think it's really feminine. I just really like it. It's got an empire waistline, which I just think is can often be quite flattering. Looks like it's got a bit of a vintage vibe to me, and I think particularly depending on what kind of fabric you make this, and if you went for some kind of ditzy floral print, something like that, it could really have a sort of, I don't know, like maybe 1940s type feel to it, which I really like. I love a kind of vintage type dress, so this one's right up my street, to be honest. Now, just checking my notes, it looks like it's got a gather just under the top bust area. It's got a panel skirt, and you've got some facings on the front, and at the back it finishes with an invisible zip. I like with this pattern that you've also got 2 different sleeve variations as well. You can go for quite a simple sleeve, or you can go for a sleeve that looks like it's got a kind of slight poofy feel to it. Now, this pattern is suitable for intermediate sewers, so perhaps not something to try straight away if you are brand new to sewing, but Sew Over It have got a range of other patterns that would be, you know, perfect if you are new to sewing. And this one's available in UK sizes 6 through to 30, and also it's available in 2 different lengths as well. So you've got one version that's slightly above the knee and one version that's slightly below the knee as well. So I think all in all, you've got quite a lot of different things in that pattern that you can try, and you know, you can kind of expand your skill set with all the different things that pattern offers. So yeah, that's definitely one that I think could be quite popular with Sew Over It fans. Project number 4 on the list that I wanted to share with you today is a kind of new pattern company to me. I think they have been around for a little while, and that is a pattern company called Becky Sews, and it's the Sharon Dress pattern. So this is, again, is a PDF pattern, and I just absolutely loved it. I saw this on the Foldline website, and I just thought, oh, I really like that. It's got a lovely standout collar, and it's got some really pretty details about it as well. So this one is available in sizes 34 through to 52. So I think this is actually sized in centimetres. So if you are making the size 34, the bust measures at 80 centimetres and the hip is 86 centimetres. And if you are going to do the size 52, the bust measurement is 116 centimetres and the hip is 112 centimetres, just to give you a bit of an idea what the size range is there. This looks like a semi-fitted dress with, like I say, quite a lot of lovely details about it. It's finished down the front with some lovely buttons, so of course you can play around with what kind of buttons you use there. It's got a fitted waist. It's also got some bust and waist darts, so I quite like that because it often adds a nice bit of shaping to the top of a dress. It's got some box pleats in the skirt area, which I love. That's something that I kind of look for if I'm going to make a skirt or a dress. It's something that appeals to me. I just think that kind of thing suits my style, so hopefully it suits you as well. It's got quite a deep V neckline, so I was a little bit unsure about that for me personally, because I'm not too keen on things that come too low, but I think potentially if you were to play around with the pattern, maybe you could raise that up, make it a little bit higher maybe, although you have got the collar placements, it might be a little bit tricky. The collar, I think, adds something really pretty to this particular dress, so you could use 2 contrasting fabrics there. Maybe if you were to use, I don't know, like a navy for the dress, you could use a white fabric for the collar, and you know, your eye would just be really drawn to the collar. I think that could be really, really pretty. And another thing that drew me to this dress was the pretty sleeve. So I think that it's got an elastic casing kind of around the sleeve area to create a kind of gather around the arm to make the sleeves kind of puffy. So yeah, I really like that one. I think it's really sweet looking, so hopefully you'll be interested in making that one potentially over the next few weeks and months. Again, another dress I think that could see us through you know, into the warmer weather, and could look really pretty wearing some sandals with it, and maybe a nice beach bag over your shoulder, that kind of thing. Now, project number 5 I wanted to share with you today is actually a jacket. So I don't tend to make that many jackets, and I think potentially I should make more. And recently on the high street, I have been seeing quite a lot of jackets that are like this one that I'm going to talk about now. So I just thought, yeah, I've got to share this one with you. So this is a pattern that's by Atlas Gamut Patterns, and it's the Solitude Jacket. So I think you could have lots of fun here playing around with the type of fabric you used. So maybe you could use a corduroy on the outside. You could use, I don't know, like a lightweight teddy bear type fabric on the inside, or for the collar. I think you've got a lot of things that you could do here with the types of fabric that you use and how warm you decided to make the jacket. This is quite a straight cut jacket with some drop shoulders. It's got 3 different collar options, which I think is quite nice, so you can choose what works best for you. Or of course, if you really like the jacket when you did try it, maybe you could have a go at doing all of them if you were to make 3 versions, but obviously that would be quite a lot of work if you did decide to do that. One of the collar options is actually to have a removable faux fur collar, so I think that could be really fun, particularly at this time of the year. And I think there's a lot of jackets on the high street at the moment that do have faux fur collars, so you could maybe replicate something that you've seen in one of your high street stores that you like to shop in. Another thing that I liked about this jacket is it's got some interesting pocket details on the side. So I don't really know what you call them, but they're the type of pockets that kind of are around about there, so you can post your hands just inside. So I think depending on your preference, you can wear those slightly higher or slightly lower, just depending on how you think it would work best in your jacket. Now, this is actually a paper pattern rather than a PDF, and it's available in UK sizes 6 through to 20, and it's also available in French and English, which is nice. But I think that this jacket would be perfect, as I say, for this time of year, and also taking us into the warmer weather as well. I just think it looks so stylish. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at that pattern if you were interested in making a jacket at this time of year. So they are my 5 ideas that I wanted to share with you today. So hopefully you have enjoyed seeing my kind of sewing inspiration for now and for the next few months. If you have, I would love it if you could press that like button and leave me any comments below. Do let me know if you've made any of the patterns already, or if you're thinking about it for the future. I know my list of what I want to sew kind of keeps growing and growing and growing, and I have a little notebook of patterns that I might like to buy as well, kind of, you know, when I get paid and kind of going forward and that kind of thing. So I don't know if you keep a little notebook of what you'd like to try in the future as well. I'd love to know how you go about doing that, and if you've got any tips for me as well to try you know, myself. It's always difficult, isn't it, to try and keep a check on you know, the patterns you've already got, the fabrics you've got, you know, what you'd like to make and that kind of thing. So yeah, if you've got any tips on how you order your kind of sewing journey, then do let me know. I love to hear how other people go about doing their thing. But that's it for today's video. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.